Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and this is what I think could be some potential new characters in Game of Thrones Legends. But first, I implore you to please like, share, and subscribe. At 200 likes, I'm going to be doing what I would have done for Game of Thrones Season 5 through 8, so basically that season's redone. 100 subs, of course, the 1 hour FNAF Timeline video, and at 10k views, a video on the true story of the War of the Five Kings, basically in the style of the video I did in Robert's Rebellion. But let's begin now, shall we? The first characters that could be coming or are coming. These two are out now: Benjen Stark and Yarn for the Night's Watch faction. So that is really fun to see. I haven't played them personally, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they are. For the leaked characters, well, there's 4. It's Rickard Karstark, who's already in the game in the Rob's War summon, but he's not playable. Greywind, who's in the files. Daemon Targaryen and Rhaenys Targaryen as file leaks. Of course, Daemon and Rhaenys' dragons are in the game, so Daemon could be coming really soon. I don't know about Rhaenys, though. As for the Targaryen potential characters in the assessment, they said all the factions I'm going over today were announced beginning a assessment currently, but we don't know when those assessments will be completed and all that. But let's start with the Targaryens. So, potential new characters are Queen of the Seven Kingdoms version Rhaenyra, because we have the young version, but we don't have the old version. The Targaryen faction really needs legendaries to compete with the Stark faction. Other characters, of course, Viserys Targaryen, and I think the other one that could be coming would be Daemon Targaryen, as I mentioned earlier. Not only is he already leaked, but he's a fan favorite. But I don't think Rhaenys is possible, but I don't think, since her dragons in the Rook's Rest. Plus, in all of war events, I believe there's 4 legendaries for Dragon's Quest and Battle of the Bastards, and Rook's Rest has 3 already, and Rob's War is 2, and the 2 lead characters for Rob's War, so Rhaenys could possibly be the other character in the Rook's Rest event. Next is the Lannisters. Boo! Everyone say it with me, boo! Now, they have a couple legendaries and some soldiers. Maybe we could get some common soldiers for them, but mostly there's a very obvious one. People want Tywin Lannister, Hand of the King, the man who basically created the Red Wedding. People want him really bad, and in an assessment of the Lannisters, I could see him coming. I could also see Tommen, who's a he's a decently significant character in the seasons 4 through 6 coming, and I could also see Marcella coming. Those are some legendaries, and I believe the only legendaries are Jaime, Cersei, Joffrey, and Tyrion. As for the free cities, basically a lot of the legendaries are already there. You got Greywind, Jorah, Khal Drogo, Daenerys. I think mainly the last one legendary you could add is Dario Naharis. I think you could add him, although he'd more likely be an epic. But I mean, also besides Greywind, there's a lack of unsullied soldiers. So, like how the Green faction got a bunch of soldiers, I could see that happening for the free cities as well. The Baratheons are next, and they are lacking a lot of things. They need legendaries. So, although we could get Renly, I don't think so. I think Gendry is more likely. But they also need actual soldiers, so they could be another faction like the Greens that got soldiers, and like I said, for the free cities that desperately need it. And yeah. Next is the Brotherhood. They already have all their legendaries that could be in the game, unless they add a Sandor Clegane from the later seasons. I think they'll get actual Brotherhood soldiers, because right now we just have other characters and Beric and Thoros. As for some other characters that I did not mention, that could get in, Mance Rayder is the last missing wildling character. Plus, it says invaders from the north in the summon, but the only legendary is Ygritte, so that feels very odd. Mance Rayder is the last kind of character from the wildlings that could be added. I could see him slotting right into the invaders from the north summon and work perfectly. Balon Greyjoy is the only missing Ironborn character. They got a bunch of new characters when they got an assessment with the Starks. Like I mentioned earlier, Renly Baratheon. If we don't get Gendry, I could see us getting Renly. But I think they'd rather save Renly for a summon with Larys Tyrell, since the two in the show are in love. And we've seen various summons. You got Jaime and Cersei, Valentine's Day, Ned and Cat. Of course, there was Jon and Ygritte, Catelyn and Peter Baelish. Yeah. And then as for some dragons, Rhaegar and Meleys are the other ones, since they are already in the game as bosses, and Caraxes got added. Eventually, so I think though for the greens, I think Rhaegar is the last one they would add, since he's quite menacing, and Meleys, I don't know when they'd add her. Now, when could these be coming out? So in February we got Kristen Cole at the beginning, and then Robin Talisa at the end, and then in March we got the Green Soldiers, Benjen Stark, Yarn, and Will. So yeah, we can roughly assume that it takes like 1 to 2 months for an assessment. So I think in April, or at the beginning of April, we're probably going to see, I could see Rickard Karstark coming as Rob's War. It's a new event. You're going to want to keep people interested by adding new characters. I could see that coming. And at the end of April or in May, I could see the next assessment being released with. As for actual soldiers, Baratheon, Free Season, Brotherhood, and either the Targaryen and Lannister champions. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, bye!